Hello, Chris from My Stamp Lady. I'm so glad you've joined me today. So today we're making a shaker card, and it's going to be featuring the Tasty Trucks. This is a Sale-A-Bration set that's available right now through the end of March 31st. And when you purchase, oops, got to find the right page here. When you make a $50 purchase from Stampin' Up, you qualify to get this stamp set free. And here are a few samples with that. So it's found in this catalog here. You can find a download of this catalog on my website at mystamplady.com. Okay, so I am using the Tasty Trucks stamp set, the boho-chic embossing folder, the layering circles dies, and the cupcakes and carousels designer series paper stack. So it's got a lot of fun paper that I really like in there. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to stamp my little Tasty Truck here. So this is the image, and I'm going to stamp it with the tuxedo black ink. Now this ink is not actually water resistant, but I have found that if you're not using too much water, it actually works okay. So, and it's probably my favorite ink. So stamped up my little truck there. Then I'm using the watercolor pencils. They do not come in this plastic case. This is a clear mount case that I've put them in. Now the pencils were new in the Occasions catalog, and they've been really very, very popular. And so they are on back order through February of 2017. So be sure to go back and look for them after that. And also, if you like my Facebook page, I will let you know. I will update you as to their status and also or my website. So you can always check there. But I'm just going to take my watercolor pencils, coloring up the truck. And then once I've colored the truck with the pencil, I will use, and I'm just going to stop here, I'm not going to do the entire truck. I use an aqua painter to brush that color out or water it so that it has the watercolor look. And just going in between colors, you just have to brush off the aqua painter. It has water in the barrel here. Brush it off onto scrap paper, and then you can switch colors. So I would go ahead and add the colors that I want. The watercolor pencils are really fun and easy to use, and you can just go in and look at how you get that watercolor look wherever you have colored. Okay, so like I said, I would just go ahead and use all the different colors, and then I would just fussy cut this out, this Tasty Truck out. Just go around and cut them out. And a tip for cutting is that you want to move your paper and not your scissors, and you want to use that inside edge to cut so it's sharpest. So you can go ahead, and so I've already done one ahead of time. So this is what it's going to look like when it's all colored up, and I stamped the banner inside there and the cupcakes, and there's a bunch of little fun accessories for that. So I'm going to set this aside. So this is a shaker card. And to make the shaker portion, I am going to use this piece of Peekaboo Peach. Peekaboo Peach is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Now I'm going to put down my circle. So this is where my shaker is going to be behind that circle. But I don't want to cut out the entire circle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I'll do. I'm going to put down my magnetic platform, one acrylic plate. I have my paper and my circle. I want to leave this portion of it flat because I want to have my truck sit on there. Now if you have the newer acrylic plates, they are beveled. If you have the older ones, they just stop. They have a straight edge and they stop. So as soon as you hit this bevel where it starts to wear, kind of bevel or get narrower, it's going to quit cutting. So my cutting, I'm going to run through the Big Shot. I don't want the entire piece cut, so I'm not placing my top acrylic plate over the entire circle. This portion will get left uncut. But be sure that you have where that bevel ends is where your cutting is going to end. So my cutting's not going to stop here at the end. It's going to stop just a little bit further back where that end starts to get narrower. So I've placed where I want my cutting to go through to, and I'm going to run this through the Big Shot, my die cut machine, and because there's nothing over this part, it will not get cut. So now when I take out that circle, you can see where it's cut to. It left it intact down there, and you can use our Stampin' Trimmer it would work really well, but just because of the space in my video area, I'm just going to cut this with a straight edge and a craft knife. So I'm lining up from this end of the cut over to that one, and we'll just cut that out. Oops, I want to move up the, there we go. And then you just pop out what you've cut. Oh, I need to make it a little bit deeper. So this is what I have for my shaker area, and when I go through the card you're going to see why I made it this way. So I would like this front embossed, so this is where when I put it into the boho chic embossing folder, and I'm using the Big Shot platform, not the magnetic one, and I will run this through the Big Shot to emboss this paper. After you've run through your die machine or the Big Shot, whichever machine you have a lovely embossed piece. So now I'm bringing in my designer series paper, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment, a little wish that's fun to make, right here down on the front. There we go. After you've stamped this designer paper, I am using some fast fuse to place this down on my card front, and I'm going to line it right up here with that straight edge. Okay. On the back side, because I don't want my shaker elements to come through, I am going to place adhesive around my opening, and then there I'll put a piece of window sheet, or in my case right now I'm actually using transparency sheets that you would use for overhead projectors. And so you just place that clear piece over, and this was what will keep all of your this is what will keep all your shaker pieces inside the shaker, so they won't fall out the front. Okay, and then I can take a piece of the thick Bermuda Bay twine, and I'll just tie that. Let's see, make it a little bit longer that way. And we'll just tie a bow here. And then you can just cut your tails down to whatever size you want, and make your loops a little bit shorter if you want. I actually used quite a large piece. I wouldn't have needed that much, but that's okay. So we'll just trim that down. Okay, so now let's move into the shaker portion. And to do that, I have my foam adhesive strips. These are really nice to use because they are sticky on both sides. They're cut to strips so that they can, narrow strips so you can wrap them around shapes like this circle. So I am just going to set it down as I go around the circle. Now because it is a circle, I do find that you get a little bit of pulling. So I'm going to show you what I do with that. Let's cut this here first, push that down, and then I'm going to go straight across the bottom here. There we go. So because I get a little pulling because of that circle, I'd like to take my scissors and go in and just snip that, and it releases some of that tension or stress on that paper. I'm not snipping the plastic sheet, I'm just going between the plastic sheet and then over this. Okay, so get some of that tension so it's not pulling on it, but it will still keep all of my sequins inside. Okay, because I want this to sit flat on my card front, I'm going to use some more foam adhesive to prop this up along the bottom. There we go, and along the top here. And I'm even going to take a little bit and put it in the middle because I don't want this sagging on my card front, so we're going to put even just a little bit more here, and this will prop my entire card front piece up. Okay, so now we have our little tasty truck, and I have put dimensionals on the back side, so I'm going to just remove those covers and place down my colored tasty truck here. It's off to do a wish that's fun to make. For my card base, I have a 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of thick Whisper White cardstock, scored at 4 1/4 and folded to make my card base. And now this is going to sit down right here on top of this. And so I need to put my sprinkles or my sequins, these are the sprinkle sequins, right there in the center where that's going to be. So I'm going to take just a pile, set those in the front here, about how many I think I want to use. There we go. Make sure they're kind of flat. And now let me check with my piece here if they're kind of in the center. Yep, that looks good. I like that, and I think that's about the amount I want. So now I can take off all of these little coverings for my foam adhesive strips, and they are going to be individual little pieces up here because I made those little snips to relieve some of the tension on that foam. And so I have to take off the individual ones. But now we've got it nice and sticky all the way around, and that foam is going to keep that sequin area right in the center there. And I went with that straight across the bottom because I didn't want my sequins to fall down here below where my truck and my paper will be. So we'll place that down the front, and this is cut a 1/4 of an inch shorter or smaller. Let's press that foam down, and then now you have your sequins that you can shake behind your truck. And I really like these sprinkle sequins, they're a lot of fun. Okay, before I add my sequins to the card front, I'm going to quickly stamp a couple little things inside. So I have happy birthday, now where's the cake? A little wish that's fun to make. Happy birthday, now where's the cake? So we'll stamp this with the tuxedo black just inside for a sentiment, and just for fun I'm going to add a little cupcake on top of it, and then I can go in and color that cupcake with my pencils, and there's a fun birthday card. So I'm going to pick out some of these, I'm not sure what color they are, but the more pink, I'll have to look that up. And they might be Watermelon Wonder, I'm not 100% sure on that though. And I'm going to add a few of these Watermelon Wonder or pink sequins, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Watermelon Wonder, to the front here. And I'm going to do that, glue those down with a fine tip glue pen. So let's just add a little bit of glue to the front here. And while I'm doing that, just to remind you, this Tasty Treats or Tasty Trucks stamp set is available through March 31st, and it is a Sale-A-Bration set, which means the only way you can get this is free with a purchase of $50 of product, and that's in the United States. And I have more information about this on my website, including printable sheets, direction sheet at mystamplady.com. And you can also find all the supplies I used, even listed down below on my YouTube video page. And this glue takes just a little bit of time to dry, so I'm not going to pick it up all the way now, and that's why I finished the inside first. If you have any questions about what I've done, don't hesitate to contact me, Chris, at mystamplady.com. And you can find all the supplies in my online store at shopwithmystamplady.com. Thank you so much for watching.